My bad, y'all. Eating a hot dog real quick.
Give me one of them hot dogs.
What's up, YouTube fam? Thank you for tuning in again. Today is Sunday. Look, it's been a minute since I posted last. I was supposed to get y'all this part 2 like weeks ago, but life happens. Here it is. I'm sorry. But I'm gonna go ahead and give you this part 2. But with this part 2, it's gonna be a little different than normal part 2s. I'm gonna give you like other things that took place in the situation. However, I'm also getting some advice about red flags, because Lord knows if I would have paid attention to those red flags, I wouldn't have anything to be talking about right now. So anyway, it's a good thing, but it's a bad thing. At the end of the day, it was a lesson learned. Here is another video. I do want to let you guys know that this is part 2 to Stalker, Prison Babe, whatnot. There was a couple of things I didn't tell you all in the first video because I wanted to shorten it. So here it is. Now with that said, let's get into it. So if this is your first time tuning in, before I go any further, you may want to actually tune into the previous video, part 1, Stalker Bay. You'll know what's going on then once you watch it. Go ahead and tune into that video. I promise you will get a laugh and a kick out of it, and then you will actually know what's going on. So as I stated in the previous video, I was talking to this guy. Long story short, he became a little stalkerish. I'm sorry, y'all. Talking to this guy. I called him Sean. We were talking maybe 2 months. Long story short, there was so many red flags that it wasn't even funny. Well, I didn't fill you all in on all the red flags because I didn't know if you all wanted to know all the information. So be advised though, this is not any particular order. It's just like how I remember some of the stuff. Like I don't remember every single thing, but some stuff stuck out to me and it was like, dang, you should have dipped in, but I didn't. So here it is. So I remember in the previous video, I told you guys that Sean and I, when we first saw each other in person, we met at a location. Well, that particular location was his apartment. We met in the parking lot of his apartment. So when I drove up, red flag number 1, he didn't look like his Facebook profile picture. Honestly, I thought he was going to be taller, a little slimmer. Granted, there's nothing wrong with being, you know, heavier in size, but I was just anticipating like a 6 foot 230-ish guy. Well, let's just say he may have been 230, but Lord knows he won't 6. When I saw him in person or whatnot, you know, we were cordial, we were talking, we were getting to know each other. Fast forward, at the end of the night, I had to use the restroom. So I let him know, hey, I really need to use the bathroom. I need to go. Because it was like, my house wasn't too far from him. And I knew I was okay if I would have waited. However, he was like, oh no, you can go ahead and use my restroom. It's cool. I was like, nah, it's okay. You know, hey, I'll just go ahead and dip home. No worries. He was like, nah, come on. You're right here. So after a while, I was like, okay, yeah, I'm right here. What sense did it make for me to try to hold it with his restroom right here? I already knew in my mind I was going to go to the restroom and dip and go home. So we get inside his apartment. Now, I noticed one thing. I'm not the brightest person out there in the world. I ain't saying I'm the smartest. I'm not the dumbest either. But we as women know when a woman has decorated a location. Nothing to the men out there. However, we know when a man has decorated something and when a woman has decorated something. And when he opened the door and I walked in, the place was too spotless. It was too clean. The shades coordinated with the pillows and the chair coordinated with the floor and everything was just going together. And I was like, yo, this is a woman's touch. I should have right then and there, I should have said, nope, let's dip. Because when I walked in the apartment and we continued to go around the corner, he was showing me where the restroom was. But me, I like to scan a place to make sure, number 1, nobody ain't trying to jump out and knock my head off. And then number 2, I want to make sure there's no surprises here, nothing. You know, people are crazy. So he showed me where the restroom was, and I was just taking in everything, looking around like, dang.
Oh my God! Wow!
Like, this is really nice. I mean, yo, it was decked out. I'll give him that. So I said, yo, there's got to be a woman here. I go to the restroom to wash my hands, walk back out. He was waiting there for me. I said, okay, well, we can go ahead and leave. As we're walking out the door, I made a comment. I was like, by the way, your apartment is mad nice. He said, oh yeah, my roommate, yeah, you know, she decorated this or whatever, and you know, it's nice and all, but it's a little too much for me. I said, roommate? I made a mental note of that. I said a roommate, and it was a female. He never mentioned anything like that before. So, walk outside, we hug each other goodbye, and I dipped. That was red flag number 1. To anybody out there that's talking to somebody, getting to know them, and they talk about a roommate, and it's a female, baby, there ain't no such thing. I'm sorry, but 9 times out of 10, if a guy you're talking to is living with a female, and they claim it's a roommate, something's gotta be going on. I ain't saying they smashing, but
Let a nigga smash.
all right, so fast forward. Another red flag. Now, I kind of mentioned this in the previous video, but I really didn't go in depth. By the way, y'all, I keep looking down because I'm trying to brush myself off low-key because I got hair everywhere. But it's all right.
Whoa, it's all right.
So I did mention this particular red flag in the previous video about phone calls, multiple phone calls or whatnot. Hey, if you all are ever on a date or you're ever with somebody, and that's red flag number 2. I'm telling you, anytime he and I was around each other, his phone, it would always be a period where his phone would ring or messages would come to continuously. And low-key, I had kind of figured like, okay, something going on. Somebody trying to reach him, and it ain't just on some normal, hey, how you doing stuff. Nah, somebody was really trying to reach him. Literally every single time we like were around each other, or anytime we went out, he had call. And you know, and that was a red flag alone in itself. But then on top of that, when he got real defensive, when I was like, hey, you need to get that, and I was joking, oh, that was red flag. Another red flag. Why would you get defensive about anything when, if it's just a phone call and it's not that serious, you know, say, hey, it ain't that serious, and boom, continue on with our night. But yeah, he flew off the handle, got upset. It was like, I don't know, it was kind of like he was low-key bipolar. Like, he just had, I'm telling y'all, he just had these mood swings that will come and go. I mean, I don't care for that type of stuff. Like, if you real moody, you got a bad attitude, or you just going from 0 to 100, like, real quick.
We go 0 to 100, nigga, real quick.
Like, yo, I cannot deal with that. I don't like stress. I don't like arguments. I don't like all that crazy confrontation stuff. So I should have dipped in, like, right then, like, gotten up and be like, okay, you know what? I'll catch your Uber home. But it is what it is. So yeah, he did have, like, y'all, this is crazy. This is crazy. He had a bad attitude. He always had phone calls. I'm going to the next part. So I completely left this part out of the previous video, and there was a reason for it because it was long within itself. So I'm gonna condense it. As time progressed, I started getting random Facebook friend requests from women. Never seen these women a day in my life. I promise you, I ain't never seen them a day in my life. However, they were all within I was about to say where I live. They were all within the same vicinity of where we live. And I was like, that's crazy. And then they had 1 or 2 mutual friends that I had, but one of them was Sean. Each time one of them reached out to me and tried to, you know, get me to be their friend. And at that time, my Facebook settings and stuff like that was on private. Now, I don't care. You want to lurk and see whatever, you have at it. I mean, do what you need to do. So yeah, every time I would get like friend requests and stuff, and I'm like, yo, who are all these random people? And they were all women. Never men, all women within this time frame of him and I like being cool or trying to get to know each other. So to me personally, that was a red flag because I think I received like maybe 4 or 5 friend requests, and I noticed that each time one of their friends was Sean. So I knew something wasn't right. I just felt like somebody was trying to watch me to see who I was, see what's going on, to see what I was posting. But me being me, I don't even accept friend requests like that right away. I let it kind of marinate before I decide to go ahead and accept it. And it was a good thing I did it because eventually one of them, we're going to call her female, sent me a message. Hey, how you doing? I'm not trying to start drama, but how do you know Sean? Right then and there, I was like, oh, you one of those, huh? I was like, ask Sean. And then after that, I left it at that. So I didn't have any more like conversation with her. The friend requests from the same couple of women kept coming back and forth. Like, it seemed like they would delete the friend request and then send it again. I don't know what they do to that, but that's what they did. I know it sounds weird, but no lie, that's what they did. And that was another red flag. If you start talking to somebody and out of nowhere, a bunch of women are sending you friend requests and the person you're talking to is their mutual friend, I'm telling you, somebody watching you. Like, they're trying to figure you out. They're trying to see who you are. They already know what's up. And I feel like this. If they know that the dude you're talking to is talking to somebody else, they got to be close to them somehow. They still got to be communicating. Because how else would they know that stuff? Another red flag to me was the possessive attitude. I don't like possessiveness, especially when it's first on. Like, yo, I really didn't know this guy. Like I said, most of the time we would talk. It would be over the phone, or it would be FaceTime, or, you know, it was just little stuff like that. And he was on the road. I was where I was working. So we really didn't have time to really build a true, strong connection. Well, on my end, I didn't think it was a real one. I ain't gonna even lie to you. I don't even into him like that. But yeah, so I just felt like for him to have a possessive attitude so early on shows controlling vibes. Like, and I don't like to be controlled. Granted, I'm not one of them crazy, wilding out type of girls, but I don't like to be controlled, and I don't like to be told, do this, do that, don't act like this, wear that, don't do this. And he had those type of vibes. So with that said, that was another red flag. Ladies, if you have a possessive guy that's like crazy possessive in the beginning, keep your eyes open. I ain't telling you to leave him, but keep your eyes open because that ain't cute. And clearly I ain't keep my eyes open because you all know what happened. Another thing, oh my God. So one time, I remember this particular night. This is kind of when he started, I think he kind of started like popping up at my house. I ain't tell y'all this part. But in one of those times, y'all could probably kind of tell, well, I worked at a police department. I remember I was supposed to go outside. So here how it was. I did my job where I have like a 15-minute break, one part of the shift, and 15-minute break at the other part of the shift. And then we also had our lunch. Lunch was like, honestly, whenever you could eat it. I'm just being real. So I was gonna go sit in my car and just chill and digress and eat my lunch. I looked up at the screens because we had huge monitors at the police department. I looked up at the screen and I'm like, yo, who is that parking beside my car? And that I was working, which was nice. No one really was in the parking lot other than one or two cars. And I knew who the cars were. So I was like, okay, so who car is out there? I'm zooming in, like I'm honed in. And it's like I see the car, but I couldn't really make out what the car was. So I go tap the screen, the mouse to tap the enlarge the screen. Lord and behold, this clown showed up at my job. Y'all, he was in his car, literally parked beside me. So I looked at the screen, I was like, shoot. I said something under my breath.
What the hell?
And I thought I said it low, but I guess I said it loud because my supervisor looked at me and was like, boy, you good? I was like, yeah, man, I'm good. I just thought I saw something. So I kept looking up at the screen. He looked too. He was like, who's that parked beside your car? I was like, I don't know who that is. I was trying to figure that out too. It was Sean out there parking right beside my car. And he did that because at the time I had stopped like really taking his calls and stopped sending him messages and stopped really talking to him because of that last incident in the previous story. Again, if y'all don't know what's going on, you got to go watch that story to really understand this one. I promise you, because if you don't, it won't make sense at all. I promise it won't. It won't make sense. That's another red flag. I just, and although I had stopped talking to him by this point, that was a crazy red flag to me. And I was like, that was a huge red flag to me. Because I'm like, yo, I don't even know this guy like this. Yes, I told him where I work, but I would never think in a million years that he would actually pop up at my job. And then I was like, the fact that I think by this time I had found out that he had been locked up. So I was like, you are really brave, number one, to be here, to be here stalking me. And you just don't, like, you're brave. You're here at the police department, stalk me. Make it make sense. I don't get it. But anywho, that was another red flag. Another time, I didn't really mention this, but he used to love like buying things. Like over the course of the little 2 months we were talking, it was like he was trying to buy me. He was buying me like Coach purses. I forgot the name of the shoes, but they were expensive. Some type of shoes. And it was crazy because I don't know how he knew my size. I'm really thinking about it. That's another red flag. That man was really paying attention. That's crazy. But I don't even know how he knew my size because we talked about stuff, but never like what size you wear. Oh, I wear that. That was extremely crazy. And that's how I didn't understand how he knew what size ring to get either. Like, it was just crazy. It was as if he just knew. He was somewhere watching. Knowing him, he was probably watching somewhere and I just didn't see him that time. But yeah, it was just crazy. He just knew too much. It freaked me out. That's another red flag. You don't know somebody and yet they know your entire, like, your shoe size, what purses you like, and this, that, and the third. Like, it was just weird to me. Yo, it was just weird. I'm gonna just put it out there. Ladies, pay attention. If you feel weird vibes, if you see things that you don't like, yo, dip. At the end of the day, there's plenty of fish in the sea. Cliche, but it's true. I promise you. Honestly, this really opened my eyes to show me how crazy people are. In a way, it helped me out, but I wish I wouldn't have gone through it. It was ridiculous. And I kept mentioning in the last story, the only reason why I didn't, get a restraining order on him and stuff like that was because of my job. But honestly, that was the only reason. Anybody that knows me knows I'm about my paper. I don't mind putting in work. I will work until I'm dog tired and still work. And I'm about my money. I've had people use me in the past and I try to help people out in the past. So I'm so much more tighter on my money now. However, I like having nice things to do. So that's another reason why. And I was like, yo, he's not going to be the cause of me losing this job. If I lose this job, it's going to be because I walked out of here. But other than that, he's not going to be the reason I lose my job. And the fact that, number one, he was so bold to show up at my job. Because think about it. He showed up at my job knowing that we weren't talking. He had already called me every name under the sun. He just was crazy. He had done all this calling my phone and doing all this. So I knew that if I would have gone out there, it would have been drama. And he had told me before, he didn't care about me losing my job. At the end of the day, he honestly wanted me to lose it so that I could depend on him and he could take care of me. I'm not like that. That wasn't going to happen, but I'm just letting y'all know. It was just so many red flags. And honestly, looking back now, sitting here where I am today and looking at it, I'm like, dang, girl, that's crazy. I wasn't taking it serious at that time, but yo, I should have taken that craziness serious, and I didn't. I thank God that I'm still here, because who knows what could have happened. I mean, his rap sheet, attempted murder, and it was something else. I can't even remember. Go check out the last video. So yeah, there were a lot of red flags when it, all boiled down to it. I should have paid attention. I shouldn't have been so lenient. So this is why I'm giving advice, because that was a dangerous situation. No telling what could have happened, He kept popping up on me, kept blowing my phone up. Then these weird women sending me friend requests, trying to figure out who I am. Oh, by the way, you guys, I found out that he was messing, the woman that decorated the apartment that was his roommate. Crazy story. The lady was actually married. She wanted to leave her husband for Sean. Sean didn't really want to be with female, but female wanted Sean. So she gave him money. She furnished that apartment he was in, and she would, have little weekend rendezvous over there with him. She would do whatever she could. She met his daughters. By the way, I found out he had baby mamas and all that stuff. Like, it's crazy, y'all. Met his daughters. She took care of them from time to time. One time she had called and I heard outside the door, he was outside one of these drunken nights, And he answered the phone and he was like, females stop, and said all this explicit stuff. Females stop after calling me, and
Bitch. Whore.
like he went off on her. And it was on speaker, so I could hear through the door what was going on. He didn't know like I was on the other side of the door. He was just at the door, just banging on it, trying to get in. And this particular night, I heard it. She was like, "You probably with that girl, and you know what? I'm just gonna kick you out, and I'm gonna kick all your stuff out, and you're gonna stay on the street. I'm not gonna keep putting up with this." And he was like, "B, you knew what it was. You know I don't want you. I'm just giving you what you wanted." And when I heard that, I said, "Oh." So yeah, they was going at it. Well, I put you in the apartment and I'll take it away and blah, blah. And he said something like, "Go ahead, I'll move in with my new lady." Or something. He was crazy because there ain't no way on God's green earth he was gonna move in with me. Like, yo, please pay attention to red flags, man. I'm telling you, it's not worth your life. It's not worth your emotional state, your mental state. Live life. So I do appreciate you guys for tuning in. Let me know if you like this story time / advice thing. If not, let me know. If you like it, let me know. If you all do actually like it, I'll go ahead and start making sure I post more story times, and I'm gonna make sure I get up here more often. So with that said, I appreciate every single one of you. Don't forget to subscribe and like this channel. Come on, help me out.
Help me. Help me.
And I appreciate you. I love every last one of you. And make sure you all stay safe. Mwah. See you, fam. Bye.